So this is usually solved by updating your video card drivers, sorry, video graphics drivers or video card drivers. And so that is what you need to know about the OpenGL. As you go on, you can get an understanding of what is an OpenGL and how it works. So don't worry about it if you don't get anything. So another important point is OpenGL is by itself a large state machine. A state machine is a collection of variables that define how OpenGL should currently operate. The state of OpenGL is commonly referred to as OpenGL context. When using OpenGL, we often change its state by setting some options, manipulating some buffers. Buffers is just a memory location in GPU that we give before we do anything with GPU, before passing anything from CPU to GPU. I will explain it while making a triangle. And another point is when working in OpenGL, we will come across several state changing functions that change the context, and several state using functions that perform some operation. So by inputting some, you will change some context, and by you inputting we'll use some functions that perform some operations based on the current state of OpenGL. As long as we keep this in mind, OpenGL is basically one large state machine. So this is the important point. OpenGL is a state machine, and the state machine is nothing but we use OpenGL functions to change something or use something from the GPU. So most of its functionality will make more sense after we start. That's it. This is all you need to know about the OpenGL basics. So you guys need to set up your VS Code and OpenGL. So to set up, you need GLFW. GLFW is nothing but taking input from the user like keyboard, mouse, and GLFW also is helpful in using to make a window. It will make a window. Let me show you guys. So I am here. So let me make a window. See, I will run this code. I already compiled. So now this is running the code, and this is a window made by GLFW. You will know how to make it. Just be patient. So that is, you guys will be making a triangle today just by the code. Just by this code, I made a triangle, and this is all the files that I used to compile. I didn't write anything. We should only be focusing on main.cpp. So if you set up with a C file, you will also get all these files. So if there is also another option, you can use directly VS Code Studio. So what we do is Visual Code Studio. So what happens is after this, all this is done by the app itself, the Visual Studio. So I am in Mac. So in Mac we don't have the Visual Studio Code. So only text editor of Visual Code. So I done the CMake. So that's one alternative for the Mac users. So it is easy to set up. Just you may take 20 to 30 minutes. That's it. And after GLFW, so GLFW takes input from the keyboard and mouse, and also make a window. And after GLFW, I recommend you guys to use GLAD. So what GLAD does is, since there is the location of most of its OpenGL function is not known at compile time and needed to be queried at runtime. It is then the task of the developer to retrieve the location of functions. So he or she needs and store them in function pointers for later use. So retrieving those locations, for each function you may need that it is not declared. Thankfully this is libraries for this purpose. So GLAD will use GLAD here. So one more time, let me be clear. I'm not clear, so let me just show you guys what glad does. So yeah, so if I'm using Mac, right? So you might be using Windows and another guy might be using Linux. So if I make a project in OpenGL, for example, I make a game and I want to send it to a Windows. So my my compiling and my Mac's compiling and the Windows compiling might be different because both might be using different GPUs. Mac is not using any GPU right now, but it is using the hardware it has itself. But you might be using in a PC which has NVIDIA, for suppose NVIDIA graphics card. So the manufacturer might be written different code for OpenGL. So GLAD is useful there as a middleman to make sure it is works. Your game works in every PC on every machine. So this is what glad for. You should also uh, install the libraries of glad before starting, and after that we'll be starting the basics of how to make a window, how to make an triangle. So let me first show you how to make a window. So let me just comment this out. So whatever am I commenting out, it is a triangle. I mean, it is a code that what triangle is made for. And so first you need, so let me, so this code has all the code, I mean all the functions for triangle and all that shaders. I'll tell you what shaders is. But so before making a triangle, everyone set up an OpenGL, initializes GLFW and GLAD. So after that they'll start making a triangle. So for making a triangle, this is all custom. You should write it by yourself. But for setting up a window, it is one time you set up a window and you use it again and again. So for setting up a window, you should put a glad, include this library glad.h and glfw. Some people are using nowadays, the beginners are using, instead of glad they are using uh, another libraries. So I recommend you guys to use glad. It is easy and it is industry standard and also well maintained, and others are not. So after that, let me so after that you should include this studio.h, studio, I mean standard.io.h. So this three you should be including. So I'm assuming you guys know basics of CPP, or I recommend you guys to use CPP. It is easier and it is more customizable. And const, you should mention this what size of window you need. So this is GL int is an integer type, integer data type, just like int and float, but this is OpenGL int. And you know what is const means just constant, it will not change. So I can change this. So I'm telling you, the if you any of you guys don't know the basics, I'll be telling you also basics of the C++. So this is a variable, this is customizable, you can put anything, and it should be relatable. So I put width and it is height. So constants are in real life, constants are always in capitals. So this is width of the window and height of the window. And 800 means there I want 800 vertically, 800 pixels vertically, and 600 pixels horizontally. And this will this will make the window as you type here. So, and after that ignore this is a for triangle, and ignores all this. And let's go to the main. So here you will initialize the glfw int. So inside main you should type, actually you should type glfw int and initialize, but you should also, it is good practice to check if it is initialized or not, and you should send a message if it is not initialized, if it is not initialized. So you should pass this parameter as a parameter inside if statement. So what this does this, and some people might be asking that how is it giving an output of success or failure, like it is initialized or not initialized. You just pass it in a function. So what the trick here is, this functions gives back the 0 or 1, I mean success or failure. So if this is not, if it's a failure, if it is a not success, this gets activated and it prints us glfw start failed. It is not initialized, and it will this will terminate. This is also another function. This will terminate. So I put return 1, so it's a good practice too. And this is all, you know, actually you don't need to remember any of this. This is only one time thing, so you can copy paste it, but you should know what this function does. So another function is glfw window hint. So remember guys, glfw is a library which we use to take input from user, like from keyboard or mouse, and also to make a window. So what this does is, this initializes the this uses the glfw, and what this does is, this goes and asks, when you install glfw, it asks for your computer to give me the latest version. So now right now latest version is 3 and 3.3. I want 3.3 version, it is the latest, so I put 3.3. Major and minor. Major is 3.3. okay, so same functions for both windows. Hint. So this is also, no one remembers this, you should also not remember this. So you should go to the documentation, or you should go to the chat gpt or any AI to ask for this code initialization and latest version of OpenGL setup code, and you should type in this. And after that it comes this comes the main. You should create a window. So what you should do is, go and type glfw window and pointer. You should pass in a pointer and a variable name. I'm assuming you guys know what is pointer is. And after that you will create a you should create a window, glfw create window function, and should pass in all that we have give, like width, 600 and 800 and 600, and another variable test window. I'll show you this test window. It's here, it is showing code right here, yeah, and it will show test window here. That will be the name of the window. So you can put in anything and pass in 2 nulls. And after that also, it is a good practice again to check if it is opened or not. If it not open, you should send a message like glfw window creation failed, and also return to. So non-zero returns are failure, and return 0 is success. Okay, so setting exact pixel size due to Mac Retina display. This is for Mac only, because Mac has this screen called Retina display. That's a type of display only in Mac currently. So if you're Mac user, you should pass in this. This does nothing but sends address of buffer width and buffer height. This is variable, and it sets in the memory locations of this, so that it doesn't disturb the Mac Retina. I mean, it is customizable for Mac Retina too. That's it. Just copy paste this, and guys, I will give you the code in the description, or comment if I didn't put the in description. I will just send it to you in under a hour if I see your message or comment. Thank you. And also guys, please subscribe. This is my new channel, so it will be nice if you guys subscribe, and I'll bring more high quality. It is not high quality, I know, and I'll bring you more high quality videos. And You can request any subject you want. I can bring that to you too. So after that, we initialized the glfw. We haven't initialized the glad. Glad is, as I just said, it is like a uh, compiler, but not really compiler. It is for makes easy to use your source code in any machine, your game in any machine, let's say. So same as glfw, it is also gives back the 0 or 1 success or failure. So to initialize this, and yeah, and setup viewport, you should also write this viewport. So this is for the triangle, this is for the triangle, and this is also for the triangle. So you no need to remember this. I'll be showing you in the next video. Thank you. This is the basics of OpenGL.